Hello, wonderful teachers, and welcome to this overview on some of the general things that you'll want to check in your gradebook on a regular basis. Most of the things I'm going to show you are things that you want to check every week or 2 weeks, definitely right before every grading period's over, so that way you make sure that all of your grades are as up to date as possible. Now, all of this is in the ELC upgrade 3.1, which we did in 2017. So, first off, as you can see, I'm already in the grades section, so if you're in your class, just click on grades, and usually in general, you'll find yourself in the graded report where I'm already at. Now, this is a great place to start because it lets you easily see all of the different assignments that are available and all of the categories that they belong in. So one of the easiest ways to make sure that everything is ready to go is first off, I would suggest turning editing on personally, because that way if you notice something, you can change it as you're going instead of having to go back. But I have my list of students, I have my list of assignments. Okay, one student, you know, good enough. And one of the easiest things to do is just use the scroll bar at the bottom to scroll down and make sure that everything that needs to be filled in is. So if there's an assignment that the student doesn't have any points for, I can go ahead and add whatever points need to be added and continue along my way. Once I've finished adding grades, it's always very, very, very important to come back to the front or the very beginning and click Save Changes to ensure that everything stays where it should be. Now, when you click Save Changes, you'll notice that it refreshes the page. Not that that's a big deal because, of course, it's on the far left of the whole thing and you can't see it when you start scrolling away. So just so you are aware, it will refresh the page, but everything will continue to be editable. Now, as you're checking through everything, besides making sure that all of the assignments are filled in that should be, you can also take a look at the different category totals to make sure that they're looking like a reasonable number, and making sure that all the assignments appear to be in the right categories. If there's something that's not in the right category, oftentimes it'll appear way down here, which means that the assignment isn't in a category at all, which can be a problem and actually adjust the way that the grades are laid out, or the way the grades appear to the students. At the very end, you'll notice under course total, it has the total grade that the student currently has. This should match the same as the fall total. In this case, it does. And that way, it's just a quick, easy check to make sure that everything's right. Now, as a tip, obviously, depending on if you already have your spring semester all filled out, this could be really long, and finding the course total and that total could be really hard. So what you can do is actually come up here to the spring total and hit this minus button in this box, and it'll go ahead and collapse it so that when you get to the end, you see just the spring total, which is blank, and then of course you can easily see the fall total and the course total. Great thing is when the spring semester comes, you can just uncollapse this, do the same for fall, and it appears just as this part right here, and the rest of it is spring, so it makes it much, much easier to work with. So this is one of the places that you'll want to go to make sure everything looks right. Another great place to take a quick peek is to go into Setup, click on Gradebook Setup, which is usually what is there. And this is an easier way to make sure that all of your assignments are inside of a category. This is especially helpful to do if you've created any assignments during the period between the last time you've done a check. So I look through, I make sure everything is inside of a category, which you'll notice they are because this line indicates that they are within the fall weekly assignments. Anything outside of that would be like closer to the fall total. I'd know that that's out of place. The other place that commonly they end up is right here at the very bottom underneath the spring total and above the course total. So if you notice any assignments down here, you're going to want to move them out of that area because, like I said before, they can actually change the total grade for your student, which can be a serious problem. Another thing that I want to show you real quick in the grader report again is occasionally Assignments end up hidden even though they ought not be. After all, when we're on the fall semester, we want everything in the fall to be visible. Sorry about that. And when you're in the spring semester, you want all the things in spring to be visible, but you don't necessarily need them to be visible when it's not that time of the year. So if I were scrolling through here and I were to find that one of the eyes was closed, all I have to do is go up to the top eye here, which is right underneath the name, not the ones by the students, because otherwise if you have 30 students, it's literally clicking this 30 times and this. It's horrible. Don't do that to yourself. Instead, just click the one at the very top and voila, it's open again. Now, you may also run into situations where by accident, the student's grade is like this. I've seen situations where you'll have 30 students and like 5 of them will have this situation going on, or even more discouraging, every single one of them, which just kind of makes you want to cry. The good news though is if you want to know the quick little tip that I use, you close it, so it closes all of it, then you open it again. And when you hit open again, it'll open all of the eyes. So all 30 of them will come open again if they were closed. It's pretty awesome. So those are the major checks that I want you to do on a regular basis with your gradebook. It'll also help ensure that your grades are always up to date and everything's all set, and it'll make your life way easier. If you have any questions or concerns along the way, just let me know. Have a wonderful day.